Vicki Hogarth, and welcome to Southwest Magazine. Mariners Music Fest returns to St. George from August 11th to 16th. What began as a grassroots celebration of music and community has grown into a nearly week-long festival featuring live performances, barbecues, dances, seniors' teas, and more, all brought to life by the passion and dedication of the Mariners Alumni Association. Joining me now to discuss is festival founder Ann Dewar. Thank you so much, Ann, for coming in today and for sitting down with me.
Well, thank you for having me.
Let's start by talking about the beginning and how this came to life. What was the initial talks that the Alumni Association had, and how did you decide to make this festival a reality?
Well, we didn't have an association. What happened was we decided we wanted to have a party, and we had to find a place large enough to host it. And the only place that had ample parking and that we figured that we could serve liquor at was the Fundy High School. So when I phoned Derek O'Brien, he said, no, we had to start an association. So we started an association with the help of Fred Hare and several other previous students we had. We got together and we put something together so we could have a festival at the school.
So was there a moment that sparked it, that you said, we need to do this festival? You started the association, but was there a moment when it started to crystallize that you really felt you were onto something?
Well, it actually happened beforehand. I put it onto a group that I wanted to have a party and have a little music gathering. And Wilfred Langmaid, a friend of mine that we grew up together, put on, I'll join in with you. So Wilfred and I decided to do the Mariners Music Fest, a day-long event, with the aid of, example, Lorraine Leland, who's my hairdresser. I went to see her and I said, we're thinking about doing this. And Lorraine said, you have to. So with the work of 4 people, we came up with it.
Wow, I feel like so many Charlotte County ideas just happen by the people you come across in that day, sharing some information, and then everyone puts in their 2 cents and it becomes something. How did it start, though, from going from one day? What's the evolution been like to go from one day to the 5 days that it is this year?
Well, actually, it's quite amazing because when we got Lorraine on board, Lorraine brought her whole family. And Lorraine's, I can say, has 5 sisters. Lorraine, and there's 4 other sisters. And they've all come on board. Her sister Sandy, Judy, who's our artist lead, and Penny, and Lorraine and her father, who's 91, have helped us organize the trenches, getting set up, and yeah.
So this year's lineup, tell us a little bit about what it's like. How does the events go across these 5 days, and what are some of the highlights?
We have a full week of schedule, and we're starting with a drumming circle, and then the next day we're having a night on the pub. And we're having a night at the Legion on Wednesday night, a dry Legion event. And we're having a day tea with the seniors on Thursday. And then on Friday, we're having 3-on-3 basketball. And we have a new art show going up at McAdavid Center for 2 days. So far, we have 6 artists signed up, and we have a musical event going on there. Then we have an event at Curling Club where we have Claudette and Zeta and Takes 2, as well as a barbecue. And then Saturday, we have our main event, as well as an event at the Hub. And then at 2 o'clock, we start the big festival.
Quite a lineup.
When
you look at the venues for it, it's all across Eastern Charlotte. Talk to us a little bit about the venues that are in place this year. You mentioned the Hub as one. Where are the big shows as well?
Well, the main event is at Fundy High, but we have managed to put it in all the different local communities area. The Legion, the Pub on Main, the St. George Curling Club, the Seniors, Granite Town Seniors, and McAdavid Place. I'm amazed at how many of the community members have stepped up, actually, and have offered to help us in our hosting events.
I can imagine. I mean, that must be part of it, too. As you plan year after year, do you find that now people ask, are they more likely to say, how do I get involved with the festival? How can I offer my space?
Yes, it's happening more and more, yeah.
When you look at some of the milestones for the years past, so I was trying to think back today about how many years it's been going on for. It was 2022 when it first started.
Yeah.
When you look back at the milestones over the past few years, are there ones that stand out to you, things that you're super proud of, or pinch me moments?
A pinch me moment would have been last year. There was a sister and a foster sister who had been together for years, and they were separated very quickly. And they went through life 40 years and didn't know what happened to each other. And they ran into each other at the Mariners Music Fest last year. And everyone was there that was witnessed, cried, there was tears of joy. It was just an overwhelming thing because these sisters reunited again.
So wait, how were they separated originally?
They were just from family circumstances, and they were together for years, and one went away for a weekend and they never got back together again. And one moved out west and the other one was living in the East Coast here, and they just happened to run into each other.
Wow.
Yeah. After 40 years.
Oh my goodness. So, I mean, that really highlights especially the community elements about what makes the festival so special. Are there any musical acts when you look back on it? And have you pinch me moments for that as well? Any sing-alongs?
Well, Sandy Leland has an amazing voice, and Sandy just blew us all away. The first year she got up on that stage, we had goosebumps and tears. And and she's one of our singers again this year, performers. So I've been pleased. And we've been very blessed with our performers, because all the performers the first 2 years played for nothing. Wow. And so that was amazing. It goes to show you how the community wanted it to grow. And this year we're highlighting most of the same ones, but they have their own showcase. So this time it's about a 2-hour show instead of a smaller show on the stage.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, I feel like I'm always overwhelmed by how much talent comes out of this part of the world. Music in particular. Are you surprised by how many of the musical acts really are just local talent from Charlotte County?
Oh, well, my father always loved the musical scene. And because I started off with getting 2 of his favorites, and that would be Claudette and her granddaughter Zeta, who's amazing. Zeta got our bursary this year, and Angie and Tom. And I mean, the musical scene here contributes so much to our community, and they go out and try to help people. And they're always just stepping up and doing whatever they can to help people and bring money in for different groups. And so it's nice to be able to support the musical scene finally.
Oh, sure. And I'm sure that you get a lot of feedback from the community as well. I find that Charlotte County residents are super passionate about the festivals in their area, and they love to either jump on board and be a part of it or offer feedback. What do you hear from the community in terms of their response to the festival, what they've wanted to add to it, or what they've enjoyed the most?
The festival, they've been very supportive of it because we need something in St. George. As you know, here in St. Andrews there's a lot, but in St. George we're so spread out that even when we go, the difference in the communities, because we're up in Back Bay, Blacks Harbor, Beaver Harbor, so it's good for the community and everybody likes it because it's a chance for just people to gather, a reason for people to come home.
Yeah, you're right. In Eastern Charlotte, I always say that to Mayor John Craig. He's got one of the biggest areas to cover, too, in terms of everything from Penfield to Blacks Harbor to Back Bay. You're right. It's quite an extensive region, geographically very spread out. So how does that factor into when you're selecting performers year to year? How is that process? What's it like? Walk us through what goes into deciding who plays and who plays when and where.
Well, what we did the first year, I just picked people I knew. They're still playing for us, and they're from all different areas of Charlotte County. So that way everybody can bring people in. But this year we've had a bit of a variation because we have our main stage is going to be larger than, we have Artificially Hip coming. So we're quite excited about it because it's kind of a big concert for St. George, and we never get a chance to have anything like this outdoors.
And tell us a little bit about that. Artificially Hip is a Tragically Hip cover band. I know whenever I hear I was walking down on a night walk this week and I heard Wheat Kings, a cover band playing Wheat Kings, and you just have to, as a good Canadian, stop and listen to a Tragically Hip song. So I love the idea of a Tragically Hip cover band. Tell me a little bit about them for people who might not know, and why it's such a big deal to have them this year.
Well, they're from Hampton area, and everywhere they play up in St. John and all around, they're always sold out because they do a great job at what they do. And they take it very serious, and I think it's going to be a fantastic show.
Yeah. And I do love your answer to a question just a couple questions ago about how do you go about selecting. I mean, the truth is, the first year, it really is who's willing and who has it in their heart to play for free. But then you've been able to grow from there and really show that a festival that has heart can take off and really become something big this quickly. How many people does it take now? I'm sure from year one to this year it's grown, but how many volunteers and participants does it take to plan this festival, and how early do you start planning each year?
Takes a lot of volunteers. And what we've done this year, though, is that every community group are taking care of their own volunteers and their own show. So I have nothing to do with it. What we're doing as the Mariner Music Fest is we're paying for the musicians. And then everyone does the show the way they want and what suits their needs.
Okay, yeah. And then how do volunteers, let's say someone's watching at home right now and wants to volunteer their time, whether it's even just like helping people park cars or whatever it might have you, how would someone get involved with offering their services? And is that something that you would like help with?
Oh, we'd love help. We'd love help, we love sponsorship. We just want to do this as a community thing, so anybody and everybody's welcome. And we have such a variety that it can suit different people's tastes. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, we have a lot of openings for a lot of positions because we're trying to help the school out also to start working with them on their music program so they can become a part of our festival as well.
So if they reach out either through your website or through social media, would be a great way to find you.
Mariners506@gmail, or we are at gmail.com, or we are on the Facebook.
Okay, and
as
so
Mariners Music Fest, and you can also find us at Mariners Alumni Association.
We always say it takes a village, and it's nowhere more true than in a community full of towns and small villages. I would love to know how sponsors as well can get involved. Let's say there's a business watching right now that might want to play a bigger role, maybe a financial donation, sponsorship of a show. How does a local business get involved with being a part of the festival?
Well, they can get a hold of me at all the Mariners506@gmail.com, or give me a call at 506-754-5413. We'd love to have any donations or support. That's basically how we're running this festival. It's a lot of money to pay musicians properly and for the insurance and a lot of things we have to buy. And we advertise them well as well.
I should say, well, we have this in front. I'm going to hold this up right now because you have this beautiful mug. Is this going to be for sale at the festival, or is it promotional from some of your sponsors?
Well, the mugs will be for sale, and the bottles, no. The bottles are for my volunteers and the musicians.
Do I get to keep this one?
Yes, that one's yours. And as well, we have a water bottle carrying.
I'm like, that is a perfect festival kit. You've got your water bottle, you've got room for a cell phone. I love it. And thank you.
And our nice pens.
What does it mean to you, Ann, when you look at what this festival has become? I know from your side, the work that goes into it is extensive, but to see it go from 2022 to 2025 and become this, you see it on the Explore and Be website now, and it has become this musical festival that's on people's must-do list in the summer. How does that feel to see not just the community itself respond to it in the positive way they have, so that it's now 5 days after starting as a one-day festival, and to see people not just in Charlotte County, but from around New Brunswick, travel to your corner of the world to just experience joy in music?
It's great. As a retired teacher, I grew up here, and I have spent a lot of my life here. I left and traveled around for years and came back home. And it's nice to be able to provide the community with something to do that's positive. And it's a real positive outlook for myself and my co-workers. My husband, well, he doesn't always, Ross, who's my biggest support, doesn't always find it's as uplifting. He finds it exhausting. And my friend Judy Ellerson, who's a large part of it. It's just nice. It gives us something to do that's, rather than sitting at home not doing much.
Well, and we should give a shout out to Ross, your husband Ross, who is our studio audience today. So he's supportive off camera, which is wonderful.
Support all the time.
I do have to ask, because you say this, and I think this is so important, as someone who's spent years even living in Europe and traveling the world as you have, why do you think this part of the world is so special? Why bring a music festival and also come home yourself to this corner of the world?
Because it's gorgeous. We go on mini vacations every day. Part of the festival started due to the crisis I was in personally. With my father was sick and dying, and we found out Ross had bad heart disease. So I had to do something positive. And this has given me something positive to do. And our other positive things we do every day is that we go for a drive, or we go out in the side-by-side or in our boats. We play and we go to different beaches. You can go for walks. Nature is amazing here. And it's, we just love it. It's a mini vacation every day.
And is that part of the joy of the festival too, is it showcases the best of what we have to offer? A lot of this can take place outside as well, and you can really showcase the beauty specifically of Eastern Charlotte.
Yes, well, I mean, what nicer place, right? My father said it was close to paradise. We were close to the salt water, the fresh water, and the forest. So if you like nature, it's the place to be.
Definitely. What's your vision for it, 5, 10 years from now, when you look at what the festival has become in a short period of time? Where do you see it going, or hope to see it go 5 years, 10 years from now, and well into the future?
Ross would love to see Trooper. I would love to see April Vine, Matt Anderson, or David Wilcox. I mean, those are just a few of them. Like, we'd like to see it grow every year and to bring in bigger and better bands. Not better, but you know what I mean? Like, just bring in something that Charlotte County doesn't usually have.
I love that answer, because I love when, you say, sometimes people speak in abstracts. When you say, what do you envision? You have an actual list of bands you'd like to see come here, and that's a great way to do it. You can't really dream too big. You can only try.
No, exactly. So the better ticket sales we have this year, the better the chances are for us to be able to dream. Mm-hmm. So we've put the ticket sales down, with the hope that people will consider that even if they can't go, they can still buy a ticket to support what we're trying to build here, and just to keep us going.
And I should ask about that too. So as far as ticket sales go, do you buy a pass for the 5 days, or could you buy individual shows, and is it all on the website? Where do you go to find the ticket information?
Well, some of the events are free. A lot of the events are like only $5 or $10. Our event's only $20. And you can buy it online, or you can buy it through Eventbrite. We have tickets going through them as well.
What does this festival mean to you personally? It's obviously a project of love. As the founder, I can only imagine what it means to you to see it go on and become bigger every year. But do you step back and take pride in it? Do you have moments where you realize you created something that didn't exist before, and now it's already woven into the culture of a place you love? I could feel the emotion when I say that, because I think it obviously resonates with you, and I think sometimes we feel it ourselves, but when you hear someone say it back to you, it can have you step back for a moment and realize something that is pretty profound.
Well, I hope we are creating something. I hope it's something that somebody will take over. Somebody said after 5 years, watch out, somebody will take it over. And I think, oh, please do. Or jump in and be part of it. We just want to have something for everyone. And like, I'm a teacher who's retired, and I love running into my students. I love previous students, and I call them the kids. They're not kids anymore. They're all grown up and enjoying life, and I hope that this is something at least to give them something to do if they come home, or an inspiration, because a lot of them have moved out west. And it'll give them, well, let's go home and see some old buddies.
I know we talked about pinch me moments from performances and moments at the festival itself, but was there a moment as a founder that you really saw this festival become something quite extraordinary in a short period of time, that you stepped back and said, wow, this is taking on legs of its own. Like, I could actually step back now. It's become something.
Year 2, the Friday of the festival, we were getting ready, and the girls told me I had to go to the hospital because my leg was swelling. And I said, no, I'm okay. So anyhow, my friend drove me up to the hospital, and everybody continued getting set up. And on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, I was in emergency surgery at the St. John Regional, the only one that day, and they took me in, and they thought I was going septic, so they wanted to try to save me. And I was very fortunate. I got to the concert that night and saw 2 shows. And I realized the next day, wow, this is something, because I organized it. I left. The crib notes weren't even really left for a lot of people because I didn't plan on not going, and they pulled it off. So it was a community coming together to say, okay, let's have this.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work behind the scenes on, on prepping and getting things ready, and just there's a lot of people that are putting a lot of hours into it.
I know we're filming the show with a matter of weeks before the festival. Nevertheless, I can imagine that's kind of like crunch time for you. What are your days like right now? Is it a lot of festival prep, or are you easing into it because this is you can go a little bit on cruise control? You've done this before. Just because you add new elements, does it make it more challenging to get started year after year?
I'm not good on Facebook, and I've got to learn how to use all these systems. And I'm doing computer work, and I forget how to do it, so I have to relearn. So it's a constant learning thing. That's what it comes down to, constantly challenging my mind.
If you, Ann, had final words to share with people at home today, especially people who haven't checked out the festival yet, haven't been in the few years past that you've got this going, what are your words that you'd like to leave with people at home about this year's Mariners Music Fest and why they should come out?
We have a fantastic lineup. We have amazing artists. And please consider supporting at least our main event, and then you can decide on going to the other events. But the main event is paying for all the artists and everything. And thank you to those sponsors. The Government of Canada, the federal government sponsored us this year, and the sponsors make it possible for all this to happen.
And any final words you'd like to leave with our viewers here today, or does that say it all? Mariners506@gmail.com. Send $20 and we'll send you a ticket. If you come, amazing. If you don't, well, at least you supported a local charity. That's a great way to look at it. I like to think that way too. Well, Ann, thank you so much for being here today, and I look forward to seeing you at Mariners Music Fest in just a few weeks' time. Well, thank you very much, and thank you. My guest today has been Ann Dewar, co-founder of Mariners Music Fest, which takes place in St. George this year from August 11th to 16th. I'm Vicki Hogarth. Thank you for watching Southwest Magazine.
Southwest Magazine is a news and public affairs production of CHCO Television.